You're about to question reality. There are places in America where things happen that don't make sense, lights that shouldn't exist, phenomena that have been documented for generations and never explained, towns where physics seems to take a Tuesday off. I'm not talking about ghost stories around a campfire, I'm talking about peer-reviewed, unexplained phenomena. Government investigations that ended without answers. Things photographed, filmed, measured, and still inexplicable. Stick around for number 1. The History Channel made an entire TV show about it, the research is ongoing, and they still haven't figured out what's going on. Number 10, Marfa. Texas, the Marfa Lights. Marfa is in West Texas, way out in the high desert. For over 140 years, people have reported strange lights on the horizon at night. Small glowing orbs, dancing and changing colors, hovering above the desert floor. The U.S. Army investigated them in the 1940s. Universities have studied them. There's an official viewing area outside town where you can watch them yourself. Multiple theories, atmospheric reflections, headlight refraction, ionized gas have been proposed. None fully explain the phenomenon. The earliest documented reports date to 1883, before automobiles existed. The lights were not, therefore headlights, whatever they are, they predate the technology that's most often used to dismiss them. Number 9, Brown Mountain. North Carolina, the Brown Mountain lights, same general idea as Marfa, different state, different theories. The Brown Mountain lights have been reported in the Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina. For centuries, Cherokee oral tradition references them long before European settlers arrived. The U.S. Geological Survey has investigated multiple times. They've published reports, they've proposed explanations: train lights, swamp gas, ball lightning, atmospheric refraction. None of the explanations fully account for the persistence, the variety, or the historical depth of the sightings. There's a viewing area on Highway 181. People still report them, multiple times a year, for 3 centuries and counting. Number 8, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the Mothman. Between November 1966 and December 1967, residents of Point Pleasant reported repeated sightings of a tall, winged creature with red glowing eyes. Hundreds of independent witnesses. The local newspaper covered it for over a year. Then, on December 15, 1967, the Silver Bridge connecting Point Pleasant, West Virginia to Gallipolis, Ohio collapsed during rush hour, killing 46 people. Some witnesses had reported seeing the Mothman near the bridge in the months before the collapse. The bridge collapse itself has a clear engineering explanation: a defective eye-bar. The Mothman does not. The two events became inseparable in local memory. There's a statue downtown now, a museum. The annual Mothman Festival draws thousands. Believe it or not, the underlying sightings have never been satisfactorily explained. Number 7, the Bridgewater Triangle. Massachusetts, roughly 200 square miles in southeastern Massachusetts, centered on the Hockomock Swamp. The area has documented incidents of unexplained phenomena going back centuries: UFO sightings, large unidentified animals, anomalous lights, unusual concentrations of crime, and unsolved cases. The native Wampanoag people considered parts of the area cursed long before colonial contact. Cryptozoologists, paranormal researchers, and even skeptics have tried to map out a pattern. Nobody succeeded. Whatever's happening or not happening in the Bridgewater Triangle has been consistent enough that the regional reputation hasn't faded in 400 years. That's a long time for a coincidence. Number 6, Mount Shasta. California, Mount Shasta is a 14,000-foot volcanic peak in Northern California. It's also one of the most spiritually claimed mountains in the United States. Reports of strange lights, unusual lenticular cloud formations, and inexplicable disappearances of hikers. There's also the persistent legend of Lemuria, an underground civilization said to live inside the mountain. That part is not scientifically credible. But the documented lenticular cloud formations and reports of bizarre, localized weather phenomena are real and not fully explained. Pilots regularly report unusual conditions around the mountain. Hikers report things they can't account for. Even the U.S. Forest Service has acknowledged that the mountain has an unusually high incidence of weird incidents per visitor. Number 5, Sedona. Arizona, the vortexes Sedona's red rock formations are gorgeous, but the town's claim to fame is the vortex's specific sites where the local energy is said to spike. Sounds like crystal shop nonsense. Here's the strange part. People regularly report consistent physical sensations at these specific sites: tingling, vertigo. Emotional swings and compass needles have been documented behaving unusually near some of the rocks. The geology of the area, particularly the iron content of the rock, may explain some of it, but not all of it. The reports persist, and they're consistent enough that even skeptical scientists have admitted there's something localized happening. Whether you call it geomagnetism or vortex energy is a matter of vocabulary. The phenomenon itself is real. Number 4, Roswell. New Mexico Roswell got a UFO crash report in 1947. The U.S. Army Air Force initially issued a press release saying the military had recovered a flying disc. They then retracted it, saying it was a weather balloon. They later said it was a Project Mogul surveillance balloon. The shifting story is the part that nobody can let go. The 1994 U.S. Air Force report admitted to the Project Mogul cover-up. But that disclosure has never satisfied researchers. The official explanations have changed 3 times in 80 years. Roswell has remained one of the most enduring unexplained government incidents in American history. Whatever happened in 1947, the government's own contradictory record is itself the mystery. Number 3, Hudson Valley, New York. Between 1981 and 1995, residents of the Hudson Valley reported thousands of sightings of a large V-shaped object moving silently across the night sky. Hundreds of independent witnesses, multiple police officers among them. Photos, videos, cross-referenced timelines. The events were investigated by Dr. J. Allen Hynek, the astronomer who coined the term close encounter and who worked on Project Blue Book. He found the cases compelling enough to write a book about them. The official explanation that pilots in formation were flying small planes to deceive the public has never satisfied the witnesses or the investigators. The Hudson Valley sightings remain among the best documented unexplained UFO incidents in American history. And the area is one of the most populated regions on the East Coast. This wasn't a rural anomaly, it happened over suburbs. Number 2, Sunspot, New Mexico. This one is recent. September 2018. The Sunspot Solar Observatory, a federal research facility in Sunspot, New Mexico, was suddenly evacuated. The FBI showed up. The local post office was also evacuated. Operations were shut down. For 10 days, no one would say why. When the FBI finally released a statement, they said the evacuation had been triggered by a janitor at the facility using government internet for illegal activity. That was the official explanation. To this day, many people, including former employees of the observatory, don't buy it. The scale of the federal response and the secrecy don't match the supposed crime. The Sunspot evacuation remains one of the strangest recent government incidents in America, and it happened in plain sight while the rest of the country was scrolling Twitter. Nobody noticed at the time. The mystery is still open. Number 1, Skinwalker Ranch, Utah. Skinwalker Ranch, northeastern Utah. 512 acres in the Uinta Basin. For decades, residents and visitors have reported sustained, repeated, well-documented, unexplained phenomena: orbs of light, cattle mutilations, equipment malfunctions, sudden disappearances of objects, anomalous magnetic readings, and physical sensations that have left investigators sick. The ranch was bought in 1996 by businessman Robert Bigelow specifically to study the phenomena. He funded a private research operation called the National Institute for Discovery Science. Later, the property was sold to entrepreneur Brandon Fugel, who has funded continued research, much of it now broadcast on the History Channel show The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Here's the thing. The research is extensive. Magnetometers, spectrometers, drones, soil sampling, multiple PhDs on staff. And the anomalies keep showing up. Equipment fails in specific locations. Drones lose contact suddenly. Cameras malfunction. Crew members report illness after spending time at certain spots on the property. Some of this has been broadcast on national television, with multiple cameras rolling simultaneously. The U.S. government allegedly studied the ranch as part of the OSAP program, the precursor to the more famous ATIP UFO program. Some of those reports have been partially released. Whatever is happening at Skinwalker Ranch is documented, ongoing, and unexplained, and is happening right now in 2026. Number 1. By a wide margin. The strangest place in America. 10 places where something is happening that science can't fully account for. Some you can visit, some you probably shouldn't. All of them are real, on the map, and documented in ways that don't fit neatly into any explanation. Drop a comment. Which one would you actually go to? Which one would you absolutely avoid? And this is the question I really want answered. Have any of you experienced something at one of these places? Tell me. I read every comment, and the first-hand stories are the best part of the comment section. Subscribe. I've got videos coming on the towns hiding major government secrets, the towns founded by cults, and the most isolated communities in America that you can only reach by mule. See you in the next one.